the Mad Gear Gang. Now, the Mad Gear Gang are a bunch of thugs that have run roughshod over Metro City. These guys were rolling around like they owned the place. And the leader of this gang, the head honcho, the shot caller, the boss, was a wealthy businessman called Belger. He was practically untouchable in Metro City. This Belger had the streets on lock, the slums on lock, the subways on lock, uptown, downtown, wherever you go, he had people in different places running shit. Even had dirty cops on the payroll. This guy thought he was the Scarface, the Nino Brown of Metro City. However, Hagar, who was just elected mayor, was gonna have none of it. Vowed to toughen up on crime, and that of course means clamping down on the Mad Gear Gang. After hearing and seeing this, the Mad Gear Gang decided to make the first move. And that first move was to kidnap Jessica, Mike Hagar's daughter. Of course, to blackmail the guy and have him under their control. They would have the mayor of the city under their thumb. But Mike Hagar ain't no punk. He doesn't bend, he doesn't fold. Got on the phone, called up Cody, Jessica's boyfriend, called up Guy, a freaking ninja. And these three laced up their boots, got the soap and water, and washed the streets clean of the Mad Gear Gang. They ran through all the members and made it to your boy Belger, who eventually got his ass kicked when he was kicked through the freaking window and fell to his death, resulting in the end of the Mad Gear Gang. Or was it? Nope, these guys weren't going away that easy. Eventually reformed and actually waited for Cody to be on holiday with his girlfriend Jessica and for Guy to be off training. Then they made their move again. And unfortunately got washed again. These jobbers don't know when to quit. They eventually found a new leader and set out on a new mission. This time they would kidnap Guy's fiance and her dad, which just so happens to be Mackie's sister and father. So now Mackie's involved. So now Mackie, Hagar, and wait for it, some random dude called Carlos. I kid you not. This guy literally got involved because he loves to kick butt. Wow, the storytelling was off the chain here. And these three met up and they proceeded to go all over the world and wash the Mad Gear Gang again. Carlos was out here washing the Mad Gear Gang people. They eventually got to the final boss and took him out just like how they took out Belger. And that was pretty much the end of the Mad Gear Gang. Disbanded and split. We saw the more popular ones make it into games like Street Fighter. We're talking your Poisons, Hugo, Rolento. And that's the end of the Mad Gear Gang. As far as the members go, too many fodder to name, too many foot soldiers, and no cons, but we'll stick to some of the more prominent ones. Damned. What a name, right? Now, he's one of the first characters you encounter. In fact, he was the one that kidnapped Jessica, and he's the first boss. He's pretty much weak sauce, but the dude is very hands-on. So yeah, put some respect on Damned name. Poison and Roxy, obviously these guys were complete jobbers here. They weren't even boss type characters, they were underlings, fodder. Poison obviously made it over into Street Fighter, where she was in the wrestling business and managing Hugo. But then in her ending, we get some goofy shit where she has everyone dressed up like rock stars. I mean, which is it? Does she want to be a wrestling manager and promoter or a rock star?
Why has
look at Ryu.
Fighters formed a rock band?
Yeah, why?
Because we want to show people the true spirit of our life's work. Music is something the world has in common. Music and martial arts are the perfect tag team.
Wow, these guys aren't even trying with these storylines. Hugo, once again, another underling, was definitely under Sodom, under Abigail, and definitely under Rolento. He was a jobber here, but has stepped his game up in Street Fighter, right?
We have multiple reports of gang violence. Stand by. Witnesses report ex-members of the Mad Gear Gang. A turf war seems to be taking place.
We want the big guy! Potato! Don't make fun of potatoes! I'll show you who is #1 in the world! Mama! I'll become the big potato!
Sodom, or some people call him Katana, was a boss level character, so he's above these underlings, so he's up there in terms of power for the Mad Gear Gang. But again, they're not exactly, if you know what I mean, but he's a cool character. In Street Fighter, had some decent moves, decent throws. He's the rival to Guy. He's an okay character, I think. Eddie E, the corrupted cop that sold out. In fact, he's the one that arrested Cody, right? Nothing special about him. Out of shape, uses his nightstick and shoots. Yeah, definitely in terms of gameplay from what we see from him, yeah, pretty much whack, but he's vital to the story, I suppose. Rolento, probably one of the more popular ones and was one of the hardest bosses to beat. And again, he was the one that came up with that shadow special attacks. You could hardly hit the guy, very fast in Final Fight.
Victory stands before us! All soldiers, move out! Our mission is nothing less than to save the world. Men, you will push the front and expand the field of battle. With that in mind, each and every one of us will be working hard to increase our fighting skills.
Sir, we've just received an urgent piece of intelligence. A private military contractor known as SIN is testing an experimental soldier enhancement system at some sort of fighting tournament.
Right, men. You hear that? Opportunity has come knocking at our door. Now, our target's at the World Fighting Tournament. Its name is SIN. Their enhancement system will be ours. Every man will be expected to give 110%. Soldiers, move out!
Well, at least he has a decent story and he's not goofy like the rest of them, so give it up for Rolento, easily one of the more serious characters and easily one of the better members of the Mad Gear Gang. Speaking of goofy, Abigail. Now here you have a guy who's massively big, powerful, was the boss in the Bay Area of Final Fight. But then when you saw him in Street Fighter 5, I don't know what happened. Dude must have been taking weight gainer, nutrition shakes fused with a bag of steroids. Dude is now massive. But once again, written as a complete goofball, a moron, acting all silly, and I think he started a fight with Hibiki because one of them thought someone farted. This is the kind of storylines they're coming up with. Terrible, but obviously he's one of the more powerful members of the Mad Gear Gang, and obviously very strong, physically. But clearly he's all brawn and no brain, just like Hugo. For some reason they make all these big guys just dim-witted and foolish.
It's not a fort!
It's an engine roaring!
So yeah, and of course you have Belger, the top shotter, the head honcho, but he got watched, so that was the end of his chapter. And let's give a shout out to the Final Fight 2 boss, Retu. Clearly must have been very powerful to be the new head. And that's pretty much the Mad Gear Gang. That's it. Who was your favorite member and who's the strongest?